How's it going, Welcome back to the Great Green North. Welcome to Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. Today is currently the 14th of October. It's a little chilly. We're currently sitting at about 6-7 degrees, and we do have a frost advisory for tonight. So we definitely are heading in towards the end of the lawn season. So today we're going to be talking about fall lawn tips, a fall fertilizer strategy, and the beginning of my fertilizer program. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. For those of you new here, my name is Wade Murray. I'm a lawn care enthusiast as well as I worked in the industry, and my goal here is to get your lawn the greenest and nicest on the block. So if that sounds like a plan to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and share this channel with your friends and family so we can help grow the channel, spread more great products to you guys. So here's an update. We did a mow this morning and collected some leaves. Here is current state of the front lawn. All in all, looking pretty good here in the front. We do have a little bit of thinning here down here by the road. This is normal. I mean, I see this pretty much every year, just with all the stuff coming out of this tree here. I mean, as you can see, the leaves in this tree are pretty much mostly done for the year, but all the raking and stuff kind of starts to thin out. There's a lot of fescue in this lower part of the lawn here, and I find in my experience in my area, the closer we get to the winter, the thinner the fescue kind of gets, and it gets this kind of like brown wispy look to it almost. But that's just what happens in my area. This is an older fescue. We did overseed this earlier in the year, so, and it does look like it's taking quite well. This is being treated with the GrowForge liquid products, so we've been hitting this with the Gain 28 product. So we're putting down about a quarter pound to a half pound of nitrogen every 2 weeks. We started that at the end of August, and we got about 2 more applications left to go until this is done for the summer, or done for the year. But as you can see, I mean, it is responding quite well color wise to those Gain 28, and it's definitely still growing even though we are kind of hitting the end of the season here. So all in all, really happy with the way that the front lawn is looking. Let's take a look at the back lawn. All right, so here's the back lawn behind me. As you can see, looking really good. We just did a little bit of leaf sweep, leaf blow, and then some cleanup with the lawnmower there earlier today. That's why the stripes look nice and clean. But this back lawn behind me, this lawn was treated with granular fertilizer, 2 applications in the spring. Then the lawn was treated with liquid fertilizer all throughout the summer, spoon feeding with the Balance Line Baseline Organohuman TPA. This lawn is irrigated as well. That really helped keep it green and healthy throughout the summer. This lawn was aerated but not overseeded in the fall around Labor Day weekend, and then since then it's been treated with another 2 applications with 3 pounds of nitrogen in the back here. So total there'll be 1 more application before the end of the year. But all in all, I mean, this back lawn's looking really good. I mean, we did have quite a wet summer, but keep in mind this back lawn gets full sun all day long. This back lawn is cut with a garden tractor, so it does tend to get a little bit of over compaction as well. But as you can see here, I mean, nice, healthy, dense canopy here. You know, lots of healthy turf grass in there. The thatch layer is looking a little heavy, but you can see the holes there from where we poked the with the aerator a couple months ago. And I can't get over the color back here. I mean, it's hard to kind of show on camera, but the color looks great for this time of year. It's a nice, rich, dark green color looking here. The grass looks very happy and healthy, and we're hopefully going to continue pushing this a little bit more into the fall and straight through into next spring to help get a healthy stand of turf grass going here in the back lawn. Last but not least, let's take a quick trip over here to the side lawn. These are where the test plots were planted at about the end of May. So these are all test plots here. These 2 plots behind me, these are the bluegrass plots. Looking really nice. I'm a really big fan of these bluegrass plots. They took a while to come in, very slow coming, but as you can see, I like the color that they have in comparison to my current lawn. Now my current lawn does have quite a bit of bluegrass in it, so that's probably why I like these plots more. These are the 2 fescue plots. Now unfortunately they did not fare as well as the bluegrass plots. As you can see, lots of thinning, especially over here. We do have this big walnut tree here, and walnut trees mess with the pH of the soil, so that's why I think there's so much thinning in these fescue plots. But I was really all in all not a huge fan of the fescue plots. We're gonna try to replace those with a bit of a mix next year and see if we can get those. And then down here, this is the GrowForge Elite Turf Grass Blend plot at the very bottom here. All in all, great color response. Really happy with this plot and how it's gone so far. It's going to be getting a lot of traffic with the leaves going up and down the side lawn here. So we're going to see how it fares with all that traffic and how it recovers next spring. This lawn was treated with granular and liquid applications. It's been treated with 3 granular applications since seeding, all starter fertilizer, as well as it was treated with a liquid application every 2 weeks in conjunction with the front lawn. The balance line, straight line, organohume and TPA in the summer, and then the balance line, gain 28, and TPA and organohume coming up here in the fall. So that's what we've been treating the side lawn with. So without further ado, let's sit down here and let's talk about fall lawn tips and fall fertilizer strategies. All right, so to start with fall fertilizer strategies, the best thing to do is to change the way that you think about your lawn. Most people think about the fall as the end of the year, the end of the lawn season, but fall is really the start of the lawn season. Fall is the best time to push root growth in your lawn and to prepare for the next upcoming spring. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit more about what I mean by that. So here's my current lawn. Everything I see above the grass here, this is what I call shoots. Everything that comes up above the soil that's down here, everything up here is shoot growth. Spring is the best time for growing shoot growth. When the snow thaws and lawn comes back awake, it decides that I need to grow a lot of shoots so I can get a lot of the sun up there, harness its energy, create photosynthesis, and grow a stronger, healthier lawn. So spring is the best time for growing shoot growth. But in the fall, when there's less sun and the lawn's been growing all summer long, it decides that it doesn't need to prepare the shoots anymore. It needs to focus on the roots so it can dig those roots deep. It can hold on for the long winter that's about to come. So fall is the best time for pushing root growth. Any nitrogen that you push during this season, nitrogen and phosphorus, is going to be directed straight into root growth. That nitrogen will be stored in the roots as carbohydrates for next spring. When the spring comes, the lawn will use that nitrogen you put down this fall next spring as shoots, and you won't get as big of a flush because it will slowly use it. If you put down slow release nitrogen in the fall, it will be slowly used as shoot growth in the spring. As well as this, deeper roots help for a more well-established lawn, help for more resilient with drought tolerance and everything else that comes along with that. So deeper roots is a great strategy to have a happier and healthier lawn. Your lawn will be more drought tolerant, more disease tolerant, and more tolerant to anything that's going to come its way, because the deeper the roots go, the more access to nutrients your lawn has. So this is where we get into my fall fertilizer strategy. This is the best time of year to begin any sort of fertilization or project going into your lawn. This time of year, you need to start pushing nitrogen and pushing a lot of it. In the fall, in my lawn, I fertilize about 3 times between the last weekend of August and the last weekend of October. That's about the end of my growing season. Each fertilizer application in granular form, I put down about 3 pounds per thousand of nitrogen. Total 9 pounds in 2 months straight into the lawn. Now this fertilizer is going to be harnessed and held in the lawn. It has a lot of urea in it, which is slow release nitrogen. This slow release nitrogen, some of it will be released to help the lawn recover from the summer. Most of it will be stored and saved in the lawn to make sure that next spring, as soon as it gets warm, where the lawn is going to have a great head start, great start to the season. It's going to be ready to go, ready to grow, and ready to improve. That's what we're looking at in the fall. Put any fertilizer application you do this fall is to make sure that your lawn has a great start next spring. And as I said, this is the best time to grow roots. When people see their lawns checking out early in the summer in certain areas, it's because your roots are shallow. And when roots are shallow, it doesn't take much for that top of that soil level to dry out, and then those roots dry out, and then your lawn dries out. The deeper the roots you have, the more resilient your lawn can be to drought stress, the more resilient it can be to weed pressure, the more resilient it can be to fungus, because it has more access to nutrients deeper down in the soil. It has more access to a soil structure from top down, everything that's layered in that beautiful soil lasagna that we have in our backyard that we're going to be trying to harness in our lawn. The deeper your lawn goes, the more layers of that lasagna you have access to. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about building deep roots to have a healthier and stronger, more resilient lawn. So my fertilizer strategy for those of you who are in the Southern Ontario area, if you are currently watching this video, you still have time to put down 2 more applications of fertilizer. For those of you who are new, I would recommend going to the big box store, get a fertilizer that says fall winterizer or fall lawn fertilizer. You're gonna put that fertilizer down at 3 pounds per 1,000 or whatever the bag recommended rate is. You're gonna put that down in your backyard once this weekend and once just before Halloween, that last weekend of October. That's gonna help prepare your lawn for next spring, as well as put your lawn to bed with a full stomach so it will be able to survive as best as it can throughout the winter. The second thing you're gonna do is watering. Now, most people, as soon as September rolls around, they think that the heat is over and therefore the watering is over. They shut off the irrigation system, they blow out the pipes, and they move on for the season. This could not be farthest from the truth. Although the fall is a cooler season and there tends to be more precipitation, this is not guaranteed. In fact, in my specific area where I'm located in Southern Ontario, we had more precipitation in the months of June, July, and August than we did in September. I ran my irrigation more in September than I ran it all year long. So just because the fall is coming doesn't mean it's time to check out an irrigation. The other thing is, in the summer, we have humidity in the air. We have very humid, dense air that helps hold that moisture in the soil. In the fall, we get a lot of cold, dry air, and we get a lot of wind, which basically acts as a large fan that basically blows the air across the lawn and slowly dries it out. So make sure that you're constantly checking your soil moisture. Just because it's cold, making sure that you're still watering. Most irrigation systems like mine, the Hydro-Wise system, have a temperature restriction on them. Make sure that you're checking that restriction, make sure that your lawn is still getting watered and properly irrigated. This is what's going to keep it the happiest and the healthiest for as long as you possibly can with it. The best thing you need to do this fall is to put your lawn to bed happy, healthy, and with a full stomach, so as soon as spring comes, it's ready to go, it's ready to grow, and you don't have to worry about fighting or trying to fix problems in your lawn. Now, I would say if you're seeing this video now, you are probably too late to do any major seeding projects in the Southern Ontario area. If you are my friends down in the lower Midwest, closer to the transition zones in the States, you probably still have enough time to go ahead and do a seeding project, but not much longer. So making sure that you're getting ready, getting out in the field, getting those seeding projects done ASAP, and then making sure that you're staying on top of those seeding projects, not letting them go. Most people, they do this big seeding project in September, they water like crazy. As soon as October rolls around, life gets in the way, they kind of slowly let it go. They think I'll deal with it next spring, and by the time next spring comes around, their seed has already died. It hasn't lived because they forgot to take care of it throughout the dry months of October and November, our fall here in Southern Ontario. Next, we're going to be talking about weed control. You can only apply weed control on weeds that are actively growing. For most of us here, our lawns very soon are going to start slowing down. They're going to stop growing as much. I would say if you are looking at applying any weed control right now, you probably have about another week and a half left. Your temperatures need to be above that 15-degree mark for this weed control to work. And even if you are applying weed control now, it is probably not going to work as fast as it would in the summertime, but it is worth a try. If you have a little bit mixed up that you're trying to get rid of before the fall season rolls around, go ahead and use it now in the next week or two before the temps get too cold and the lawns stop growing. Speaking of lawns stop growing, most people ask, when should I stop mowing my lawn? Most lawns stop growing after the hard frost. Now, this depends on your area. You can look up hard frost date or first frost date for my area. In my area, it is about this weekend normally. Thanksgiving weekend, first week of October is when we get our first hard frost. We did have a frost advisory already this week, and we did get some patchy frost, and we did have a frost advisory for tonight. And judging by the temperature we currently have, I believe we're going to get a hard frost tonight. So most likely after this weekend, my lawn is going to start to really slow down. I probably only have about 3 or 4 mows left in the lawn. Even as it is, I used to mow the lawn twice a week. I'm currently only mowing the lawn once a week. So that's kind of what we're looking at with mowing. And when we're talking about mowing heights, as we're heading into the end of the season, you're going to want to start lowering your height of cut slowly over time. The reason being is in the summer, you had a lot of height on the lawn to protect the lawn from the sun, shade out the root system, give lots of leaf surface to create photosynthesis. Now, as we head into the winter, we don't want that snow to come and mat down that grass, cause moisture to sit in there, cause snow mold and other problems, as well as with all the raking and traffic. The longer the grass is, the more it's gonna get caught up and pulled and stuff like that. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So the shorter the grass is, when the snow comes and kind of squashes it down in the wintertime, all these grass blades kind of lie on top and you have these little pockets of air and moisture. That's a perfect breeding ground for snow mold, and that's what tends to cause a lot of snow mold in lawns. So kind of slowly lowering your height of cut throughout the fall can really help keep your lawn happy and healthy. And we do get a lot of moisture around this time, and when you do have a lot of moisture, having your lawn quite long can be a breeding ground for disease. So slowly shortening your height of cut. If you were like me and you were cutting your height at around 3.75-4 inches throughout the summer, I've already lowered to 3.5 now. I'll probably lower to 3.25 in about the next week or two, and I'll end my year off at 3 inches. That's what I'd recommend for all my cool season lawn friends. End your year off at 3 inches or 2.75 even. This will probably give your lawn the best chance of staying happy and healthy throughout the winter and to have the best start next spring. Speaking of leaves, the final thing we talk about is leaves. Now this is a pretty controversial topic. Everybody kind of has their own opinion on what to do with leaves in the fall. What I personally do, if your leaves are thin and sporadic enough that you can go ahead and mulch them up and not worry about it, I would do that. As you can see here, I do have some thin leaves. This is what I would say is thin enough. This can be mulched in, it's not a problem. If your leaves start getting thick to the point where you can't see the grass anymore, you cannot mulch these leaves into your lawn. They're gonna cause more damage than help. They're gonna shade out your root system. They're gonna cause thin and patchy areas. For example, I already cleaned up mine, but my neighbor's leaves here. If you have leaf cover that's this or any thicker, there's no point in mulching that up. Those leaves need to be removed from the lawn, or else you're gonna see some major thinning of your lawn, as well as leaves do carry disease. They can carry fungus and other things, and when you mulch them up, you do introduce them into your lawn. Although the nutrients of those leaves decomposing is helpful for your lawn, they do off gas and they can introduce diseases into your lawn, foreign objects into your lawn that you may not want growing in your lawn. So what I normally do is, I got a lot of trees here. We do about 150 leaf bags a year. I go ahead, remove as many as I can, leave a small trail of leaves behind that I go ahead and mulch into the lawn. So this morning we removed about 8 bags of leaves. I will use a lawn sweeper or a leaf blower, went ahead, picked them up, whatever method you want to go ahead and get rid of them, rake, leafing, use a bagger on your lawnmower, that works too. Go ahead, remove those leaves off the lawn, and then the little bit that's left over can be mulched in, just like here, where this little bit of leaves left here was mulched in. Mulching in a little bit of leaves is not gonna hurt. Mulching in a lot of leaves is where you're gonna see the problems. Without further ado, I think that's it for the fall lawn tips here and the quick tour of the lawn. If you have any questions regarding fall lawn care tips, please feel free to reach out over my website, greatnorthlawncare.ca, or through my email, greatnorthlawncare@gmail.com, and I will not hesitate to ask them. From the Great North Lawn Care, my name is Wade Murray. As always, thank you guys for your continued support throughout the season. We'll have more videos coming up here throughout the end of the season, as well as a review of the Time Master and a review of a new leaf blower I bought. Without further ado, from the Great North, my name is Wade Murray. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, keep it green.